Must watch. How high-value men speak to women make her miss you badly. Old Stoic wisdom. Stoicism. A man who masters himself is free. A man who chases validation will always be a prisoner. Inspired by Stoic thought. Today we dive into something most men never truly understand. How high-value men speak to women in a way that commands respect, sparks desire, and makes a lasting impression. Let's face it, modern dating is loud, chaotic, and built on surface-level tricks. It's filled with temporary highs and long-term confusion. Most men are out here chasing beauty, attention, validation, and every time they chase, they lose a little more of their power. But a Stoic, a high-value man, he doesn't chase, he attracts, through his silence, his confidence, and his emotional control. Let's get one thing clear. This isn't about manipulation, cheesy pickup lines, or some secret dating hack. That's for boys who haven't yet faced themselves in the mirror. This is about self-mastery, which is the root of true masculinity. A high-value man knows who he is. He's already done the inner work. He doesn't raise his voice to prove a point. He doesn't over-explain to gain approval. He's calm, collected, even under pressure. And that's exactly what pulls a woman in. Today, I'm going to share with you 10 powerful Stoic-based ways to speak to women that will make her miss you. Not because you're pretending, but because you're real and rare. Number 1. Calm confidence in conversations. A man's true power doesn't come from how loud he can speak, how much money he flashes, or how intensely he reacts. It comes from how calmly he holds himself when everything around him tests his patience. If you want to stand out as a high-value man in today's emotionally chaotic world, understand this first law of Old Stoic wisdom. Master yourself before you try to influence anyone else. Calm confidence in conversations is not just a technique, it's a deep-rooted mindset. And it's precisely this quiet, centered presence that makes her miss you when you're gone. Think about it. In a society addicted to attention, drama, and digital noise, a man who can stay unshaken in the face of emotional waves becomes magnetic. He becomes the one she thinks about at night, wondering why your words still echo in her mind. As Marcus Aurelius once said, "You have power over your mind, not outside events. Realize this, and you will find strength." That quote alone should be your anchor when she challenges you, teases you, or throws curveballs in a conversation, hoping to see how you respond. High-value men don't flinch, and they don't explain themselves to seek approval. They don't get baited into unnecessary debates. Instead, they respond from a place of grounded authority. Let's be honest. If a woman sees that she can rattle your emotions with a simple comment, you've already shown her that your foundation is shaky. But if you breathe, hold your frame and smile with ease, you silently communicate something most men never will. I'm built differently. Real-life examples are everywhere. Think of the man at a dinner table who calmly handles a sarcastic remark without breaking stride, while others would get defensive. That man instantly separates himself from the crowd. Women may not always articulate it, but they instinctively feel when they're in the presence of a man who doesn't crumble under pressure. This doesn't mean you should become cold or robotic. It means you speak from clarity, not from the chaos of your emotions. It's not just attractive, it's deeply reassuring. Here's a powerful metaphor to hold on to. Be like the ocean, vast, deep, and calm on the surface, no matter what kind of wind blows across it. A woman feels safe, challenged, and intrigued by a man who can laugh off tension, who isn't in a rush to prove anything, and who understands the art of stillness. As Epictetus said, "It's not what happens to you, but how you react to it that matters." That's timeless wisdom, and in modern conversations, it translates to not letting your ego drive your mouth. The next time a woman pokes at you or throws a subtle test, don't bite. Instead, observe, then respond with calm curiosity or quiet wit. You'll notice how quickly she softens. intrigued by your self-control. This is what makes her miss you. Not your compliments, not your gifts, but your presence. That invisible but undeniable energy of being unshakable in your emotions. You're not just having a conversation, you're leading an emotional experience, and leadership begins with composure. So the next time you feel the urge to defend yourself, explain your past, or react emotionally to gain her approval, stop. Instead, pause, breathe, and choose your response with intention. This isn't about manipulation. It's about respect for yourself and for the moment. As Seneca once advised, no man is more unhappy than he who never faces adversity, for he is not permitted to prove himself. Realize that her emotional tests are not obstacles. They're opportunities to prove your character. And that, gentlemen, is what separates the men who are remembered from the ones who are easily forgotten. If this message resonates with you, I invite you to share your thoughts in the comments. What's one moment when you chose calm over chaos? And how did it change everything? If you found this powerful, like the video, share it with a brother who needs to hear it, and subscribe for more timeless wisdom on being the man you were born to be. Comment to remember. Calm confidence is the quiet strength that makes her miss you. Drop that line in the comments to anchor it in your mindset, and let it shape how you lead every conversation from this day forward. Number 2, speaking with purpose. Most men don't realize this, but the way you speak to a woman says more about your value than any flashy car, expensive watch, or carefully rehearsed pickup line ever could. This is where high-value men stand apart. They speak with purpose. They don't feel the need to constantly fill every moment with words. They don't chase validation with shallow compliments or try to impress with over-talking. Instead, they speak when it matters, and more importantly, they understand the power of silence. That's an art and a lost one in today's world, where noise is constant and attention is currency. Stoic wisdom teaches that self-control is the highest form of strength, and that includes control over your tongue. The man who can sit calmly, silently, and confidently in a conversation is the man who owns the room without trying to. Women notice this. It makes you magnetic, because so few men today are comfortable enough with themselves to allow silence to breathe in a conversation. Imagine this. A woman meets 10 men in a week. 8 of them comment on her beauty right away. "You're so gorgeous. You're stunning. Wow, you must hear this all the time." She nods, smiles politely, and forgets them by tomorrow. Why? Because they all sound the same. But then you walk in, composed, measured, present. You don't rush. You don't try to flatter her with words she's heard 1,000 times. Instead, you look her in the eye and say, "You have a really interesting way of looking at things. Tell me more." That moment lingers. You've hit a deeper chord. She suddenly feels seen for her mind, not just her appearance. That's when a woman begins to miss you, not because you overwhelmed her with attention, but because you gave her something rare: presence, curiosity, and restraint. You didn't try to conquer her attention. You invited her into a space where real connection could grow. This is how high-value men speak, with intent. Every word has weight. Every pause, every moment of silence is deliberate. And this doesn't mean you need to be cold or robotic. On the contrary, it means you're fully alive in the moment. You're not performing. You're not seeking approval. You're observing, listening, and responding from a place of grounded strength. In a world obsessed with talking, the man who listens stands out like a lighthouse in a storm. Listening isn't just about hearing words. It's about noticing what isn't being said. It's about reading her energy, her tone, her silence. That's emotional intelligence. That's wisdom. And that's what makes a man unforgettable. Stoics understood this well. Marcus Aurelius once said, "The more we value things outside our control, the less control we have." Apply that to conversation. If you talk just to impress, you're valuing her reaction more than your own character. But when you speak with clarity, confidence, and intention, and when you're comfortable with silence, you're showing that you're already complete. You're not trying to impress, you're trying to connect, and women feel that difference instantly. So here's the modern man's call to action. Stop rambling. Don't chase approval with your words. Instead, slow down. Let her lean in. Let her wonder what you're thinking. Don't give it all away in the first 10 minutes. Be deliberate. Be curious. Ask meaningful questions and actually listen to the answers. Let your silence be a statement of confidence, not awkwardness. And when you do speak, let it be thoughtful, personal, and present. That's the voice of a man who knows who he is. That's the kind of voice a woman remembers and misses when you're gone. In the end, it's not about using tricks or lines. It's about being deeply intentional. And in this chaotic world, filled with empty words and shallow interactions, your ability to speak less but say more, to be silent but powerful, is what will set you apart. High-value men don't just talk. They leave echoes. And when you master this, she won't just hear your words. She'll feel your presence long after the conversation ends. And if you find today's content very interesting, please give me a word of encouragement by commenting "very interesting" in the comments section. That is a huge motivation for us. Thank you. Number 3. Emotionally detached. Let me give you the truth that most men never hear. Rejection is not your enemy. Your reaction to it is. Weak men panic, crumble, obsess. They beg for validation. They chase like lost boys seeking approval. But high-value men, men forged in the fires of life, men who walk the Stoic path, remain unmoved, unshaken, emotionally detached. Why? Because they understand the truth. Rejection is never personal. It doesn't define you. It exposes her preferences, not your worth. Marcus Aurelius once said, "You have power over your mind, not outside events. Realize this and you will find strength." That strength is the core of the Stoic man. When a woman isn't interested, he doesn't flinch. He doesn't chase, explain, or try to win her back. He simply nods, gives a respectful smile, and walks away like a king who's already won. That moment, that silence, that calm departure burns in her mind far more than any desperate plea ever could. Why? Because women don't want a man who falls apart at no. They want a man who doesn't need a yes to feel valuable, a man who radiates self-worth, with or without her attention. He becomes rare, and rarity breeds attraction. You become unforgettable not because you begged to stay, but because you showed her you're willing to walk away. Let me remind you, the Stoic man doesn't fear losing a woman. He fears losing his discipline. He's not tied to outcomes. He's tied to his principles. Epictetus taught, it's not what happens to you, but how you react to it that matters. So when rejection comes, and it will, don't frown, don't get angry, and don't spiral. Smile. Thank her. Turn your back with pride. You just revealed your greatest weapon, detachment. In that moment, you stop being a man chasing love and become a man attracting respect. You break free from the game and ascend to a higher level where peace, not approval, guides your actions. And that's the level where high-value men live. You want to make her miss you? Then stop acting like she's your only option. Let her feel the weight of your absence. Let her wonder why you didn't react. That silence will speak louder than 1,000 texts. The man who can walk away without anger or bitterness is the man who owns the room, even after he's gone. So here's your command. Stop being the man who needs her attention to feel alive. Be the man who gives energy, not takes it. Be the man who can lose and still win. Because his value isn't built on validation, it's built on unshakable character. That's stoicism. That's power. That's the energy of a man who leads, not follows. If you felt the fire in this message, if you know it's time to elevate your game, then comment below. I walk away with power. Like this video, subscribe to the channel, and share it with a brother who needs to hear this truth. The world needs more emotionally detached men. Stoic, bold, and completely in control. Be one of them. If this message hit you in the soul, if you're ready to stop chasing and start leading, like this video, subscribe, and share it with a brother who needs to hear this truth. This is how high-value men move, with calm, clarity, and complete control. Comment to remember. I walk away with power. Let the world know you're done begging and you've stepped into your strength. Drop that line in the comments and join the brotherhood of Stoic men. Number 4. Maintaining composure in any situation. Have you ever found yourself in the middle of a heated conversation, maybe during a dinner date or a disagreement with a woman you deeply care about, and felt that volcanic surge rising inside you, that raw emotion begging to be released? Most men, in those moments, give in. They allow the situation to dictate their behavior, their tone, their energy. But high-value men, they do the opposite. They don't just control the moment, they command it. Because they know one ancient truth, echoed by the Stoics and still relevant today. Composure is power. As Marcus Aurelius once said, you have power over your mind, not outside events. Realize this, and you will find strength. And in today's emotionally charged dating landscape, filled with endless testing, dramatics, and hidden power plays, the man who remains grounded becomes the rare and irresistible presence every woman notices and deeply respects. When a woman raises her voice, challenges your views, or throws out a subtle emotional jab to test your reaction, your ability to remain steady, unfazed, and unshaken is what sets you apart. The second you get defensive, the moment you flinch or try too hard to prove a point, you hand over your power. She doesn't want to see you lose control. She wants to see if you can't. That's the difference. That's what Stoicism teaches us, that real strength lies in emotional discipline. Seneca once wrote, "No man is free who is not master of himself." A high-value man doesn't panic, doesn't raise his voice, and doesn't explain himself with desperation. Instead, he listens with poise, responds with intention, and maintains a quiet but undeniable authority. That's attractive, that's unforgettable, and that makes her think about you long after you've left the room, because women don't remember the loudest man, they remember the calmest man in the storm. If you want to start mastering this skill, begin with your daily life. When someone cuts you off in traffic, when a co-worker disrespects you, or when a family member pushes your limits. Pause, breathe, observe, and respond with clarity, not emotion. It's not about being cold, it's about being centered. When you practice this consistently, it becomes who you are. You'll walk differently, speak differently, attract differently, and she'll feel it. Remember, in a world where everyone's reacting, the one who responds stands out. You don't need to dominate the room with noise, you dominate it with stillness. That's what makes her miss you. That's what leaves a mark. He who angers you conquers you, said Elizabeth Kenny, and she was right. So ask yourself, do you want to be remembered as the man who cracked under pressure, or the man who never blinked? If this resonates with you, drop your thoughts in the comments. What's one moment recently where you lost your cool? And how will you handle it differently next time? Your story could help another man find his center. Number 5. Active listening. In a world drowning in noise, where phones buzz every few seconds and people scroll endlessly through shallow conversations, the rarest and most magnetic trait a man can possess is his ability to be fully present. It's not about flashy lines, loud confidence, or trying to dominate the room. It's about stillness, intentionality, and presence. This is where Old Stoic wisdom steps in and separates the high-value men from the forgettable ones. When a Stoic man speaks to a woman, he is not just physically sitting in front of her, he is mentally, emotionally, and spiritually there. He isn't distracted by the world. He has mastered himself. As the great Epictetus once said, "We have 2 ears and 1 mouth so that we can listen twice as much as we speak." This is more than a clever saying. It's a philosophy. High-value men listen with their entire being. They don't interrupt. They don't mentally prepare their next witty line while she's talking. Instead, they hold space. They allow silence to do its work. They maintain calm, steady eye contact, offer thoughtful responses, and ask genuine follow-up questions, not to impress her, but to understand her. You see, women are constantly surrounded by men trying to prove themselves. Most men are in a rush to show how funny, successful, or clever they are. But a man of true worth, one who walks in the quiet power of Stoicism, doesn't need to chase validation. He gives his attention like it's gold, because it is gold. And when a woman receives that level of attention, it makes her feel deeply seen, heard, and valued, something she rarely experiences in this modern, rushed world. This is not a trick. It's not manipulation. It's the art of being a complete man. And that is unforgettable. It creates a lingering impression. She begins to think about you even when you're not there. Why? Because you made her feel something rare. You made her feel important, not with flattery, not with rehearsed charm, but through presence. She starts to miss you badly, not because you forced it, but because your presence gave her peace. Think of Marcus Aurelius, who wrote, "The soul becomes dyed with the colour of its thoughts." If your mind is scattered, anxious, or distracted, that will bleed into your conversations. But if you've trained yourself to be centered, focused, and grounded, she will feel that calm energy, and it will draw her in like a magnet. Women are incredibly intuitive. They can sense the difference between a man who truly listens and one who's faking it. So put the phone away. Turn off your mental noise. Don't chase the next moment. Master this one. Real strength is quiet. Real masculinity isn't loud, it's attentive. And real stoic power is in the pause, in the patience, in the control of your own mind. Men, if you truly want to stand out, if you want to make her remember you long after the conversation is over, then become the kind of man who listens so deeply that she feels like she's the only person in the world when she speaks. That's rare. That's powerful. And that's what makes you unforgettable. Women don't miss men who talk the most. They miss the ones who made them feel heard. And in that emotional imprint, you create value far beyond looks or status. This is what it means to embody high-value masculine energy, rooted in ancient wisdom, carried with effortless confidence. So here's a challenge for you today. Practice active listening like it's a sacred skill. Observe how it changes your interactions. Test it, refine it, and watch how women begin to respond to your presence on a whole new level. If this message spoke to you, or you've ever experienced the power of deep listening in your own life, drop your thoughts in the comments. Share your story. Let's build a community of men who don't just chase attention, but command respect through presence, wisdom, and self-mastery. Number 6. Stoic body language. Before a single word leaves your lips, you've already spoken volumes. That's the unshakable truth of body language. In a world where noise dominates, the quiet language of presence speaks the loudest. Stoic men, those who walk with ancient wisdom and modern clarity, understand this well. They know that body language is not just a supplement to speech, it is a statement of identity. Your stance, your stride, your gaze. These are not trivial details. They are your broadcast to the world, and more importantly, to the women who are watching you closer than you think. The problem is, most men drift through life unaware that their bodies are leaking insecurity. They slouch, they fidget, they dart their eyes around like they're being hunted. And women, attuned to subtle cues, notice. Instantly. A high-value man is different. He walks into a room and doesn't have to announce himself. His posture already has. His energy is composed. His presence is felt. This is not arrogance. It's inner peace anchored in control. He doesn't chase attention. He commands it effortlessly. That's the silent charisma of the Stoic. Think of it like this. Imagine Marcus Aurelius entering a crowded hall. He doesn't need to bark orders. His mere composure speaks louder than volume ever could. His body tells the room, I am unmoved by chaos. I am the calm inside the storm. That's what high-value men embody today. And it's magnetic. Let's bring it down to reality. You're in line at a cafe. A beautiful woman glances your way. What do you do? If you're fidgeting, looking down, shifting your weight nervously, your energy tells her you're unsure. You're seeking validation. But if you're calm, grounded, standing tall with your shoulders pulled back and your gaze unafraid, you say more in that silence than 100 pickup lines ever could. That's the Stoic way. High-value men don't chase approval. They radiate self-respect. And women miss that kind of presence when it's gone, because it's rare, and rarity breeds desire. Now here's the often overlooked secret. Slow down. Men in a hurry come off as anxious, whether it's your walk, your speech, or the way you reach for your coffee cup. Rushed movements suggest your mind is not in the moment. And when your mind isn't in the moment, neither is your power. Women sense this. They don't want a man who's mentally scattered. They crave the energy of a man who is fully present. That stillness, that calm pacing. It's a form of control that speaks to leadership, certainty, and maturity. And make no mistake, when she sees that in you, she'll remember you long after you've walked away. In today's world, where distractions are constant and confidence is often faked, genuine Stoic body language cuts through the noise like a blade. It doesn't scream, it whispers with strength. When you adopt this presence, not perform it, but become it, you shift how the world interacts with you. Doors open, respect rises, and the women you once tried to impress now try to understand why your energy lingers in their mind. That's what makes her miss you, not because you were loud or flashy, but because your silence felt safer than other men's noise. You became the steady flame in a world full of sparks that burn out fast. So if you're a man who's been wondering how to attract better relationships, how to reconnect with your masculinity, or how to stop feeling invisible, start here. Stand up straighter, move slower, speak less, but mean every word. Make eye contact without flinching. Be still when others fidget, not just because it looks better, but because it reflects something deeper. Self-mastery. And when you carry that kind of energy, women won't just notice, they'll feel your absence when you're not around. That is the quiet power of Stoicism in the modern world. That is how a high-value man speaks, without ever saying a word. Number 7. Mastering emotional control. When a storm brews in conversation, the average man reacts. He flinches. He raises his voice. He falls into the emotional trap she didn't even know she was setting. That's the game most men lose without realizing they were even playing. But you're not here to be average. You're here to become unshakable, to become the man who doesn't just survive chaos. He commands it. Understand this. High-value men do not react. They respond. They don't lose control because they own control. In a world where emotions fly recklessly, the man who masters his inner world becomes a force of nature. He who angers you conquers you, said Elizabeth Kenny. That quote should haunt you every time you let someone else pull your strings. A woman will test your patience, not to destroy you, but to see if you're built to last. She's not looking for a meltdown. She's looking for a mountain. She wants to feel your strength, not through words, but through your stillness. Your calm presence when the world burns around you is the real seduction. The old Stoics knew this long before us. Marcus Aurelius wrote, "You have power over your mind, not outside events. Realize this and you will find strength." That's not just wisdom. That's your tactical advantage. When she's emotional, when the conversation spirals, when she brings the storm, don't step into the lightning. Stand still. Let her feel that you are immovable, that you are sovereign, that your emotions are not up for negotiation. That is how attraction is built, not with flashy words or hollow gestures, but with silence that speaks volumes, with calm that penetrates her chaos, with presence that makes her feel safe even when she's confused. You want her to miss you. Don't chase her. Don't argue. Don't plead. Be the man who left a mark, not with noise, but with discipline. That's how you become unforgettable. That's how you live rent-free in her mind. Because high-value men don't just say they're different. They prove it when tested. And here's the truth. Women are attracted to emotional gravity. They orbit around it. And if your center is strong enough, everything comes back to you. So next time tension rises, remember this. The more you speak, the weaker you look. But the more you control your frame, the more power you command. Let her feel the weight of your calm. Let her feel the mystery of your restraint. That's how legends are made. You're not here to beg for respect. You embody it. You're not here to argue for love. You radiate it through control. And if you're truly serious about becoming this man, Then lock in now. Like this video, comment, "I control the storm" below, and subscribe for more truths that cut deeper than fake gurus ever will. This is old wisdom, stoic wisdom, warrior wisdom, and it's your time to rise, because in the end, the man who can control his emotions can control everything. Number 8. Asking thoughtful questions. Most men wander through conversations with women like tourists lost in a foreign city, asking predictable questions, hoping to strike a spark by sheer luck. What do you do for work? Or, what's your favourite movie? These questions are generic, recycled, and forgettable. High-value men, especially those rooted in the old Stoic wisdom, know better. They understand that the power of presence, true, masculine, Stoic presence, lies in the depth of connection, not in the volume of words exchanged. Instead of ticking off surface-level boxes, they dive into the kind of questions that reveal a woman's soul, not just her schedule. A Stoic man is intentional with his words because he knows that words shape reality, and every conversation is an opportunity to create gravity and pull her into his world, not through pressure, but through purpose. Imagine asking her, "What's something you've always wanted to do, but never have?" Or, "What's a passion you've carried with you since childhood, even if life got in the way?" These questions don't just start a dialogue, they start a journey, and that journey leads her back to herself, and through that, back to you. Women are surrounded by noise all day long, shallow texts, meaningless compliments, surface banter, but when you cut through that noise with sincerity and curiosity, you create silence, and in that silence something rare happens. She starts to feel seen. When a woman feels seen, she begins to feel safe, and when she feels safe, she opens up in ways most men never get to experience. As Marcus Aurelius once said, "The soul becomes dyed with the colour of its thoughts," and what better way to know her true colour than by asking questions that uncover her thoughts, her feelings, and her longings. You're not just learning about her dreams, you're inviting her into a space where her essence can be appreciated. That alone makes you stand out. Stoicism teaches us not to chase emotions, but to observe and connect with them. Asking deep, intentional questions is not manipulation. It is mastery. You lead not by force, but by the way you listen. Most men hear with their ears. Stoic men hear with their awareness. They are present. They don't interrupt. They're not waiting to impress. They're inviting authenticity. This is what makes her miss you. Not because you played games, but because you offered something rare in today's world. Realness. She'll go back home thinking about that one question you asked. The one that made her pause, smile, maybe even tear up. She'll remember how you made her feel not judged, but genuinely understood. This is how a high-value man, rooted in discipline, strength, and depth, speaks. And this is how you cultivate emotional gravity, the kind that lingers long after the moment has passed. Remember, the greatest conversations are not filled with facts. They are filled with feeling. They're not rehearsed, they're remembered. As Epictetus once said, we have 2 ears and 1 mouth so that we can listen twice as much as we speak. Take that seriously. Let her speak, and when she does, actually listen. Then follow up with even deeper questions, not because you're trying to get something, but because you genuinely care to know. That alone separates the high-value man from the masses. In a world addicted to attention, be the man who gives understanding. In a culture of urgency, be the man who moves with calm intention. So here's your challenge. The next time you're with a woman, skip the script. Don't default to what every average man says. Instead, pause, look into her eyes, and ask the kind of question that makes her stop and say, "No one's ever asked me that before." That's how attraction deepens. That's how you become unforgettable. And that's how you speak like a high-value man, with power, with purpose, and with poise. What kind of deep question would you ask to spark that real connection? Drop your thoughts in the comments below. I want to hear your perspective and help more men become the calm, grounded leaders women truly desire. Number 9. Confidence without ego. Confidence, when it is real, doesn't shout. It simply is. And that's exactly what separates high-value men from the rest. True confidence is like a still lake, calm, deep, and undisturbed by the winds of external validation. Ego, on the other hand, is noise. It's the splashy surface that tries to distract from the lack of depth underneath. The Stoics knew this well. Epictetus once said, "It is impossible for a man to learn what he thinks he already knows." High-value men carry themselves with this wisdom. They don't need to walk into a room and dominate the conversation or toss their accomplishments into the air like confetti. Why? Because they're anchored. They have nothing to prove. Their value isn't in what they own or how loudly they speak, but in the calm, steady certainty of who they are. You'll notice this kind of man not by how much he says, but by how he listens. Not by what he flaunts, but by what he chooses not to mention. And that's exactly what makes a woman miss him. Deeply. It's not the flash or the flare, it's the mystery, the strength, the silent gravity of a man who knows himself. In a world where so many chase attention, high-value men embody what the Stoics taught. Control what you can, let go of the rest. The moment you start trying to prove your worth to someone, you hand over your power. That need to impress, to mention your car, your career, your so-called status, reveals a hidden insecurity. It says, "Please like me, I need your approval." But the man who is truly confident walks a different path. He doesn't need to explain himself. His life speaks for him. He can sit in silence and still make a woman's heart race, not through performance, but through presence. Women remember that presence. They feel it days later when the conversation is over. It lingers in their mind because it's rare. And in a world full of noise, what's rare becomes irresistible. And here's the truth most never realize. It's not about becoming more impressive. It's about becoming more intentional. When you let go of the urge to win approval, you become untouchable. You're no longer a man seeking permission to be worthy. You're a man who knows he already is. In today's modern world, where social media has turned many into walking highlight reels, the high-value man remains grounded in the ancient truth that validation means nothing if it doesn't come from within. So the next time you're with a woman and you feel that old urge to impress her creeping up, pause, breathe, remember who you are. You don't need to decorate yourself with praise or accomplishments. You are the mountain, not the storm. Let your quiet power do the talking. Let your actions reveal your discipline, your values, your peace. That's the energy that commands respect, that draws admiration, that makes her think about you when you're no longer in the room. Speak less, listen more, lead with calm, and when you do speak, let your words be shaped by purpose, not performance. That's not just confidence, that's wisdom. That's what she'll miss. And that, my friend, is what separates the fleeting from the unforgettable. Number 10. End with grace. End with power. End with grace. The exit is your signature. It's the final impression, the moment that burns into her memory long after the conversation is over. Most men, weak men, linger too long. They desperately try to fish for validation, tossing in one more joke, one more compliment, one more try to win her over. But the truth is brutal. The longer you stay past the peak, the faster the magic dies. High-value men, stoic men, know when the moment is ripe. They sense it, they feel it, and then they walk, not out of fear, not out of hesitation, but out of control, out of strength. He who does not know how to be silent knows not how to speak, said the Stoic philosopher Publius Cyrus. Learn this, feel this, because when you exit at your peak, you create mystery. You plant a question in her mind. Who was that man? You leave her restless, curious, hungry. This is not manipulation. It is presence. It is restraint. It is masculine discipline. Let your smile be calm, your goodbye be warm but brief. Don't over-explain. Don't overstay. Walk away like a man who has places to be, like a man who doesn't chase because he attracts. That's how you make her miss you. That's how you make her think about you when the lights go out, when the room is silent, when she checks her phone and sees no message from you, and starts wondering why. Real power is quiet. It doesn't beg. It doesn't explain itself. High-value men do not cling to moments. They command them. They move with precision. They know exactly when to speak, and more importantly, exactly when to stop. That is the art of being remembered. In the midst of movement and chaos, keep stillness inside of you, said Deepak Chopra. Stillness, composure. That's what she feels when you exit like a king. You don't need to impress her with words. You impress her by walking away at the right time. And here's the cold truth. The man who leaves first, who ends things on his terms, always holds the psychological edge. Always. He triggers curiosity. He triggers desire. And she's left wondering what she missed, what you might have said if you stayed just one moment longer. That's the game. That's the edge. In a world of men who talk too much, silence is seductive. Absence is power. Detachment is magnetic. So next time, when the conversation flows and the spark is alive, feel the peak. Sense the moment. And leave. Leave with strength. Leave with purpose. Let her chase the ending you didn't give. Let her feel the FOMO, the tension, the wonder. Let her replay the conversation in her head, trying to decode the parts you didn't say. That's how legends are born. That's how high-value men create gravity. So if this message hits you, if it awakens something in you, drop a comment and say it out loud. I walk away at my peak. Then like, share, and subscribe to this channel right now. Because if you want to become the kind of man who's unforgettable, this is where your transformation begins. You don't need to speak louder. You just need to know when to stop speaking. That's the secret. That's the Stoic edge. Now you understand. These are not just 10 ways to speak to women like a high-value man, but 10 timeless principles rooted in ancient Stoic wisdom that elevate the way you think, act, and carry yourself. These ideas go far beyond just words. They shape the essence of who you are. Because it's not only what you say to a woman that matters, it's how you say it. The calm strength in your tone, the self-assurance in your body language, and the peace you radiate when the world gets chaotic. In today's world of quick validation and shallow attraction, true value stands out. Stoic men know that power comes from restraint, confidence from preparation, and attraction from clarity of mind. Marcus Aurelius once said, "You have power over your mind, not outside events. Realize this, and you will find strength." That's what women sense when they're around a high-value man. Strength without arrogance, presence without pressure. The man who doesn't chase, but calmly attracts. The man who listens more than he speaks, and when he does speak, his words carry depth. A high-value man never begs for attention. He builds such a rich life that attention naturally finds him. He doesn't seek to impress women, but to understand them, because he knows the one who understands has already won half the battle. In real life, this shows up in small but powerful moments. When she tests you emotionally, and you respond not with anger, but with a composed smile. When she pulls away, and instead of reacting, you focus on your purpose. This quiet strength is magnetic. It makes her wonder what's going on inside your mind. It makes her miss you. Not because you disappeared, but because your presence was so powerful it lingered. As Epictetus said, freedom is the only worthy goal in life. It is won by disregarding things that lie beyond our control. And one of the most attractive traits a man can embody is emotional freedom. When you're not shaken by her moods, when you don't try to control or manipulate, but lead with steady, calm energy. You stand out in a world full of men who fold under pressure. So the next time you speak to a woman, speak not to impress, but to connect. Let your voice be calm like a river, not a storm. Be direct, honest, and present. And above all, remember that your worth is not defined by her reaction. It's defined by how well you live according to your own values. That's the mark of a high-value Stoic man. If you're serious about transforming your mindset, become the kind of man who naturally draws respect, attraction, and peace. Then don't let this be the last lesson you hear. Subscribe now and surround yourself with daily wisdom that fuels your growth. And before you go, drop a comment below and let us know. Which one of these Stoic principles hit you the hardest? Which one will you practice today? Your story might just inspire another man on the same journey. And remember, no matter where you are right now, you're always one disciplined thought away from becoming the man you were born to be. Before we dive into the next lesson, let's take a moment to reflect on what we've just uncovered. When a high-value man speaks with intention, restraint, and clarity, he creates emotional gravity. That's what makes a woman think about him long after the conversation ends. This isn't manipulation. It's wisdom passed down from the ancient Stoics, who understood the power of presence and self-mastery in every interaction. Now, let's go even deeper. What if you could use just a few simple words to instantly create a stronger, more meaningful connection with a woman? Here are 3 powerful keywords rooted in practical Stoicism that can transform how you bond with her in daily life. 3 keywords to better connect with a woman. Old Stoic wisdom. Welcome to our channel. It's the Stoic era, where you find interesting and useful knowledge from the Stoic philosophers to lead a happy and good life. Love is not about possession. Love is about appreciation. Osho, let me share with you a powerful secret that can change how women perceive you. It doesn't matter if you're speaking to someone you've never met or a woman who seems hard to win over. When you use these 3 simple words, you'll quickly find yourself attracting her attention. If you're seeking genuine connection with women, hit that subscribe button so you don't miss out on more impactful insights. Now, let's break it down. Most men make the mistake of trying to impress women with their appearance or lavish gifts. They might say things like, "Let's do whatever you want," or "I'll do whatever you say," thinking this will win her over. But in reality, this often comes across as insecurity, and it tends to push women away faster than you can imagine. Here's the game-changing approach. You and I. You might be wondering, what's so special about these 3 words? Let me tell you, when used with confidence, they carry immense power. These words show that you're clear about what you want, that you're committed to your actions, and that you have the courage to take initiative. All these are qualities that women find highly attractive, even if they don't openly express it. Why do you and I work? They encompass 4 core principles that women deeply value in a man: interest, respect, attraction, and initiative. By using these words, you show you're not afraid to lead, communicate clearly, and engage with her on a deeper level. So how do you apply this in real life? It's simpler than you think. 3 keywords to better connect with a woman. In life, clarity and confidence are essential qualities for any man looking to improve his connections with women. Practical Stoicism for daily life teaches us that being decisive and direct is not only a reflection of strength, but also a powerful tool for building attraction and respect in relationships. When you meet someone you're interested in, instead of hesitating or being vague, take the lead and say something like, "You and I should grab a coffee." This simple statement does more than just express your interest. It shows you're clear about your intentions. As the Stoic philosopher Epictetus once said, "First say to yourself what you would be, and then do what you have to do." Women appreciate directness and honesty because it eliminates confusion, fostering a sense of trust and transparency that makes interactions smoother and more genuine. It shows you have the iron mind to express your thoughts clearly, avoiding the nervousness or overthinking that many men often fall into. Next, when you ask her out, don't leave any room for uncertainty. Instead of saying, "Hey, if you want, we could see each other sometime," which makes you sound unsure, take control and say something like, "You and I are going to dinner this Friday." This shift in phrasing is incredibly powerful. It reflects a man who not only knows what he wants, but also takes the initiative to make things happen. By stepping up with confidence, you show respect for both yourself and her, as well as your ability to take charge of your own destiny. The Stoic principle of taking action teaches us that it is through decisive choices that we build strength. It's about embodying the mindset of a man who stands firm in his decisions, allowing no room for hesitation. Remember what Marcus Aurelius said? The happiness of your life depends upon the quality of your thoughts. Your clear intentions reflect the strength of your thoughts, and that is incredibly attractive. And now we come to the third point, which applies when you're already in a deeper relationship or dating someone. If you've reached this stage, it's crucial to continue applying these principles of clarity and leadership. In a relationship, it's easy to fall into the trap of being overly passive or deferring to your partner's wishes, but true connection thrives when both partners are confident in their roles. Instead of saying, "Whatever you prefer is fine," a more assertive and positive approach is to say, "You and I are going to spend more time together this weekend." This statement does more than just outline plans. It communicates that you value the time with her and are taking responsibility for shaping your relationship. In relationships, it's the men who take the initiative and lead with confidence who are respected and admired. By doing so, you demonstrate not only strength, but also the care and thoughtfulness that make a lasting impression. As the Stoics remind us, control what is in your power, and in relationships, your actions are entirely within your control. Taking decisive steps fosters a bond rooted in mutual respect and admiration, where both people feel valued and appreciated. Here's the trick. The key to truly connecting with someone, especially a woman, isn't simply about what you say, but how you say it. A phrase as simple as "you and I" can carry immense power when said with the right tone. It's not about forcing the words or making them feel rehearsed. It's about sounding natural, confident, and self-assured. When you say "you and I," you're not just making a statement, you're showing a sense of clarity and purpose. You're demonstrating that you're not only confident in yourself, but also committed to what you want in the relationship. And, importantly, this simple phrase has the power to attract the right kind of attention from the women you desire. It signals that you know who you are and what you're about, while also creating a connection based on mutual respect and understanding. Stoic happiness teaches us that the foundation of true confidence is rooted in a strong, unwavering sense of self. When you embrace the sense of self-worth, you and I becomes an extension of your inner peace and self-assuredness, not an attempt to control or dominate the other person. It's a statement of partnership, not ego. It says, "This is what I want, but I also recognize and respect your desires and boundaries." The power of you and I isn't just in asserting your needs, it's in the subtle invitation it offers to listen, to compromise, and to share a meaningful experience. Stoic life lessons remind us that life is not about forcing our will upon others, but about creating harmonious connections through clarity, communication, and respect. When you use "you and I," you're not only making your intentions clear, but also inviting the woman into a space where her voice is valued. It's a declaration of your own strength, but it also signals your emotional maturity and readiness to build something real. This balance between strength and empathy is what ultimately makes you and I so powerful, but there's more to it than just using these words casually. The challenge here is to start making you and I a regular part of your daily conversations, especially when interacting with women. Whether you're discussing something small with a friend, addressing a colleague at work, or engaging in deeper conversations with someone you're interested in, the key is to apply this phrase with intention. Every time you use "you and I," you're training yourself to speak with confidence and clarity. You're reminding yourself and those around you that you are a man of purpose, and this purpose guides your actions. When you speak this way, people take notice, not just women, but everyone. They'll see a man who knows what he wants and is able to communicate that with ease. The beauty of you and I lies in its simplicity, but also in its deep impact. It's an invitation to build something together, whether it's a moment of connection, a shared goal, or a mutual understanding. And as you begin to implement this phrase into your life, you'll notice subtle but powerful shifts in the way people interact with you. Your confidence will be palpable, and your relationships will become more genuine and meaningful. I encourage you to take action today. The most important thing isn't just knowing the theory behind you and I, but actually putting it into practice. Start using it in your day-to-day interactions and see how it feels. Whether it's with a woman you're interested in or in other areas of your life, commit to using you and I with clarity and intention. Then, I want to hear from you. Share your experiences in the comments, how you use this phrase, the situations where you applied it, and what results you noticed. I'm confident that as you begin to embrace this simple but powerful way of communicating, you'll see surprising results. This is your opportunity to redefine how people see you, especially women. And remember, you and I isn't just a phrase, it's an attitude, a way of living, and a mindset rooted in the principles of Stoic happiness. It reflects your inner strength, your ability to connect deeply with others, and your commitment to a life filled with purpose, respect, and mutual growth. As we wrap up today's discussion, I invite you to reflect on how you'll incorporate these ideas into your daily routine. Make you and I a tool of transformation, not only in your relationships with others, but in your relationship with yourself. When you can say you and I with sincerity, confidence, and respect, you'll be able to build connections that are rooted in trust, understanding, and a shared vision for the future. Take the first step now and embrace this simple phrase. It's a powerful key to unlocking deeper connections and creating lasting change in your life. So tell me, how will you use you and I this week? I look forward to reading your comments and hearing about your experiences. Let's continue this journey together as we all work towards becoming better versions of ourselves through the wisdom of Stoicism and the practice of clear, purposeful communication. Why you and I works. Many men fall into the trap of thinking they need to impress women with their looks or by showering them with expensive gifts. They often rely on cliches like, "I'll do whatever you want," or "whatever you say," hoping these words will win favour. But let me share a truth with you. This approach only highlights insecurity. In fact, this kind of insecurity is often one of the quickest ways to lose a woman's interest. So if you truly want to connect with her, to create a deeper bond, and to spark her attraction, there is a better, more effective approach. A simple yet powerful phrase, you and I. Why does you and I work so well? These 3 words may seem simple, but they carry an immense depth. They have the power to completely shift the dynamic between you and a woman. And here's why. First, you and I signals interest. It shows you're not just going through the motions or passively agreeing to everything she says. Instead, you're focused on the unique connection between the two of you. You're present, genuinely invested in the moment, and engaged. This focus and engagement are key components in building rapport and deepening the connection with any woman. In the same way, practical Stoicism for daily life teaches us the importance of being fully present in our interactions with others, rather than trying to impress them with external gestures or fleeting actions. Second, you and I demonstrates respect. It's not just a phrase, it's an invitation to engage in something meaningful. You're not playing games or waiting for her to make all the moves. You're making it clear that you value her perspective and are ready to meet her on equal ground. Respect is a cornerstone of any healthy relationship, whether romantic, professional, or platonic. The Stoic principles remind us that respect stems from self-awareness and understanding that both parties are worthy of recognition and dignity. Third, this phrase exudes attraction. When you say you and I, you're not hesitating or overthinking. It's a direct and confident expression of your desire to connect. Confidence is undeniably attractive. The more self-assured you are, the more others, especially women, will find you magnetic. This is where having an iron mind comes into play. By mastering your thoughts, emotions, and reactions, as Stoics do, you become a man who radiates calm certainty, something that others, particularly women, are instinctively drawn to. Finally, you and I shows initiative. This is where many men falter, waiting for the right moment, for permission or for signs of approval. but by expressing you and I, you're taking the lead in the situation, showing that you are not afraid to act decisively. Initiative signals to women that you are someone who knows what he wants and is willing to pursue it, making you appear not only strong, but also reliable. In Stoic terms, this is akin to exercising our own agency, taking responsibility for our actions, and not waiting for circumstances to dictate our path. In real life, think about a time when you've been decisive and assertive in your personal or professional life. That's when you're likely to have felt the most empowered. The same principle applies here. When you shift your focus from trying to impress to simply being present and confident with you and I, the connection will flow naturally. The best part is that this doesn't require tricks or manipulation. It's about being authentic and practicing the core principles of practical Stoicism for daily life: self-control, clarity, and purposeful action. So, the next time you're interacting with a woman, remember these 3 powerful words: you and I. It's not just a phrase, it's a statement of confidence, respect, and intent that will elevate your connection to a deeper level. Share your thoughts and experiences in the comments below. How has confidence and being intentional in your interactions with women made a difference in your life? How to use you and I in real life. When it comes to connecting with a woman and showing genuine interest, using the simple yet powerful phrase, you and I, can make all the difference in how you come across. In modern life, where hesitation and ambiguity can often dilute the impact of communication, using a clear and confident approach will set you apart. Whether you're starting a conversation, asking her out, or nurturing an established relationship, the principle of practical Stoicism, being decisive, assertive, and taking ownership of your words, plays a significant role in fostering deeper connections. Let's explore how you can use you and I to create real impact in everyday situations, making use of Stoic rules and the paths of wisdom to guide you. When initiating a conversation, instead of the usual passive approach like, "Hey, how's it going?" which leaves the ball in her court and lacks direction, try something more direct and engaging, such as, "You and I should grab a coffee sometime." This statement immediately conveys your interest without leaving room for uncertainty. It signals confidence and shows that you know what you want, offering a clear and specific suggestion rather than a vague invitation. This is an example of practical Stoicism in action. You're not sitting back, waiting for things to happen. You're taking control of the situation with clarity. By making a direct statement, you are also respecting her time by suggesting a specific action, which can be seen as a sign of confidence and leadership, traits that are both attractive and engaging. When asking her out, it's crucial to avoid hesitant or wishy-washy language, like, "Maybe we could hang out sometime," which might leave her uncertain of your intentions. Instead, say something more assured, like, "You and I are having dinner this Friday." This clear and decisive approach reflects the strength and wisdom in Stoic principles, where taking responsibility and being resolute in your intentions is key. By stating plans as facts, you show initiative and commitment, both of which are qualities that inspire respect. A woman is likely to be more attracted to someone who takes charge in a way that feels confident and sure, rather than someone who leaves her wondering where they stand. This doesn't just help establish attraction, it also demonstrates your ability to lead with wisdom and certainty in all situations, just as Stoicism teaches us to master our emotions and actions. In an established relationship, the use of you and I can also be a game changer, setting expectations and strengthening the bond between you two. Rather than saying, "Whatever you prefer is fine with me," which comes off as passive and indecisive, a better approach would be, "You and I are going to spend more time together this weekend." This shows that you are actively engaged in the relationship and that you value the time you spend together. It reflects strength and confidence, taking the lead while still prioritizing her feelings and your connection. By making plans with a sense of direction, you not only demonstrate commitment, but also show that you are creating a future together, which is a core principle in building lasting, meaningful relationships. At the heart of it all, the phrase, "you and I," is not just about making plans. It's about embodying confidence, decisiveness, and mutual respect. It's a reminder that in relationships, as in life, taking the lead and expressing your intentions clearly is vital. You are the captain of your own ship, and through the paths of wisdom taught by Stoicism, you can navigate every interaction with purpose and clarity. Whether you're engaging in light conversation or deepening a relationship, using "you and I" positions you as a strong, reliable partner, someone who knows what they want, takes action, and creates a space for meaningful connection. So, embrace the power of this phrase and let it guide you in your interactions, strengthening your relationships and enriching your life in practical, Stoic ways. The Stoic approach: strength with sensitivity. Stoicism offers a profound understanding of how to balance inner strength with the ability to connect deeply with others. In daily life, especially in relationships, it is crucial to be firm in your desires, yet sensitive to the needs and emotions of others. The wisdom of Stoicism teaches us to develop an iron mind, resilient in the face of adversity, while also cultivating the ability to understand and empathize with others. This balance between strength and sensitivity is not just an abstract concept, but a practical tool we can apply every day to create stronger connections with those around us, particularly in romantic relationships. In the context of connecting with a woman, this principle becomes vital. The phrase "you and I" perfectly encapsulates this idea. It expresses a clarity of intent, letting her know that your focus is on mutual respect and understanding. However, it also leaves space for her to share her thoughts, needs, and desires without pressure. It shows that you're not just thinking about your own needs, but are also actively considering hers. This kind of approach is rooted deeply in Stoic principles, which encourage us to practice wisdom and temperance, giving equal weight to both our own desires and the needs of others. This concept of balance is central to building genuine connections and ensuring long-lasting relationships. Imagine a situation where you are with a woman, and you are assertive about what you want, but also sensitive to her responses. By doing so, you are embodying the essence of Stoicism, demonstrating inner strength while maintaining a sense of openness and vulnerability. It's like the philosopher Epictetus once said, "Wealth consists not in having great possessions, but in having few wants." This notion applies to relationships too. It's not about demanding the attention of the other person or expecting them to meet your needs at all costs. Instead, it's about learning to understand, appreciate, and respect what the other person brings to the table. When you practice Stoicism, you develop the ability to remain calm and unshaken in the face of uncertainty, which makes you a more reliable and attractive partner. The core of Stoicism lies in mastering our emotional responses, which ultimately helps us avoid misunderstandings, build trust, and create deeper emotional bonds. To connect with a woman in a meaningful way, it's essential to apply practical Stoicism for daily life. This means consciously taking the time to consider her needs, thoughts, and feelings, while remaining firm in your own values and desires. In a world where many are consumed by their emotions, a Stoic man with an iron mind remains level-headed and composed, able to engage in constructive dialogue rather than impulsive reactions. This approach requires a deep understanding of what it means to be self-aware and emotionally intelligent. It's not about suppressing emotions, but about learning to express them in a way that is both respectful and purposeful. The great Stoic philosopher Marcus Aurelius once said, "The best revenge is to be unlike him who performed the injury." In other words, when someone challenges or disrespects you, rather than reacting emotionally or harshly, embody Stoic principles by remaining calm and compassionate, which ultimately strengthens your position in the relationship. Furthermore, the application of Stoicism in relationships involves continuous self-reflection and personal growth. Just as you wouldn't want to neglect your physical health, your emotional and mental well-being should also be a priority. Developing an iron mind through Stoic practices allows you to stay grounded and not let external circumstances dictate your emotional state. In practical terms, This could mean taking a step back when the conversation gets heated, understanding when to listen, and knowing when to speak your truth without aggression. Remember, being firm does not mean being rigid, and being sensitive does not mean being weak. It's about harmonizing the two to create a stronger, more fulfilling relationship. The key is to apply these principles consistently and with intention, both in your interactions with others and in your own internal journey towards self-mastery. So, if you're seeking to connect with a woman, remember the Stoic approach. Be strong in your resolve, but equally sensitive to her feelings and needs. Reflect on your own actions, keep your emotions in check, and always strive for mutual respect. Through the application of Stoic principles in daily life, you can cultivate deeper, more meaningful connections that are rooted in understanding, emotional resilience, and a shared sense of purpose. As you continue to grow, remember to embrace both strength and sensitivity, for it is in this balance that true connection and growth are found. Practical challenge: start using you and I today. In life, mastering the art of connection is crucial, especially when it comes to building meaningful relationships. One of the most practical ways to improve your interactions with others, particularly women, is by using the power of you and I. These two simple words can transform your communication, whether you're speaking to a friend, a colleague, or someone you're romantically interested in. When you say you and I, you're not just making a statement. You're showing clarity, leadership, and a sense of partnership. It's a subtle but effective way to express your intention to connect on a deeper level, and it goes beyond mere words. It reflects your mindset and approach to relationships. The Stoic rules, particularly the idea of shared purpose and respect in all human interactions, resonate deeply with this principle. In the Stoic way of thinking, we are reminded that everything we do should align with virtue and wisdom, and using you and I creates a foundation for mutual respect. I challenge you to incorporate you and I into at least 3 different situations this week and observe how it influences your relationships. First, try it in casual conversations. Whether you're talking with a friend, a co-worker, or someone you're attracted to, the act of framing the discussion as you and I will subtly position you as a leader. This is an application of practical Stoicism in daily life, taking initiative and showing that you're not afraid to take responsibility for the conversation and the connection. When you use you and I, you are consciously choosing to build a stronger rapport, inviting collaboration, and showing that you're present and engaged. Notice how this changes the dynamic. People will begin to see you as more confident and more capable of leading the interaction. Next, use you and I in your romantic interactions. In any relationship, especially in the early stages of attraction, confidence and clear communication are key. When you say you and I, you're making a powerful statement about your commitment to the connection. You're not waiting for the other person to take the lead. You are the one guiding the interaction with strength and assurance. This is not about dominating or controlling, but about demonstrating respect for both your own desires and the other person's. Just as Stoic philosophers like Marcus Aurelius spoke about the importance of knowing our role in the world and acting with virtue, using you and I reflects a shared understanding of mutual respect, growth, and connection. It's about showing that you value the relationship enough to take the lead and set the tone for it to flourish. Finally, incorporate you and I into your decision-making processes, both in your personal life and in professional matters. Whether you're dealing with a big choice at work or a personal decision, framing the situation as a shared effort. You and I helps reinforce your commitment to the path ahead. It sends a message of accountability, that you are not just acting alone, but with a sense of responsibility towards others. In the Stoic mindset, our decisions are never isolated. They are interconnected with the world and the people around us. By using you and I, you acknowledge that decisions are a joint effort, whether it's with a partner, a colleague, or even within your own self-awareness. It's a reminder that the paths of wisdom are not walked alone. They are shaped by collaboration and the clarity of purpose. As you apply you and I, pay close attention to how people respond. The change in your interactions will be noticeable. You'll find that your conversations take on more depth, your relationships become more meaningful, and your influence grows stronger. This shift is not just in the words you speak, but in how you communicate your intentions and your presence. You will naturally begin to see how powerful and transformative, simple yet intentional communication can be. By using these words, you're applying the principles of Stoic philosophy, taking responsibility, leading with clarity, and showing respect for both yourself and others. Embrace this challenge and watch how the connections in your life become deeper and more powerful, guided by the timeless wisdom of Stoicism. Thank you for joining us until the end. I truly hope you found these 3 key Stoic principles helpful in connecting with women and building meaningful relationships. Remember, patience, empathy, and self-control are not just strategies. They're ways to enhance your happiness and deepen your bonds. If you found this video valuable, don't forget to subscribe to our channel, like our videos, and share your thoughts in the comments below. Your engagement helps us continue bringing valuable content to you. Until next time, good luck with your relationships. Keep applying Stoic wisdom and trust that your path to genuine connection will only grow stronger.